Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to PCM21. It's Stage Racer, and this is episode 76. It's Paris-Roubaix, not my strength. I have a 61 gobble rating, but with my fitness peak, I have a +3 race day condition today, which gives me a 65 gobble rating. I'm not going to be much of a factor in this race with such a rating, but with all the other bonuses, flat rating's up, stamina, the resistance are up. My chances of staying away get slightly better. That was the very first cobbled sector. We had a group of 11. We had a group of 11 that was away, and we had 7 more riders that had escaped, and they had not caught up to the front group when we finally were allowed to break off further and get out away from the peloton. And that group caught us in that first cobbled sector. So as we continue on here, you can see that I'm struggling to keep up with these guys. I'm really struggling to keep up with these guys. Red bar is gone, and I am right heading out the back of the group. I'm the one that's going to be gone. Wow. I'm the first one gone. I'm that weak as a cobble rate. Is everybody else literally that much better? Well, I don't know. This guy. It's not helping me with the others so much, but yeah. Wow, I just got dropped by the group. Sit up, ease up. I got a couple minutes back to the peloton, and we will hang on there as long as we can. I'll at least get some experience points for the day for taking it easy. Let's get some water before I get caught, and let's back off some more, get that heart rate down. Oh, we have a nice little gap here to try to catch up, but I need energy, so back off. There you go. There's that 140 I needed. Losing some ground to those guys, obviously, but this is what I need to have any chance of surviving a little while longer. I'm no longer the only one who's been dropped, but my situation has gotten worse. But at least I'm still considered in the breakaway. I've now made it to 50% for the objective, and here comes the peloton. I have been reeled in. See if I can even finish in the top 100 on a day like this. To do that, I'm going to have to really manage my energy level. And so far, every cobbled sector I hit, even with low effort, my heart rate just shoots up immediately. Try to go over those cobbles. I am so bad on the cobbles. Yeah. There we go. Out the back, and there are more than 100 riders ahead of me, so it's going to be a long day from here. There's 100 kilometers still to go in this race, and I'm being caught by guys behind me, but every time I hit a cobbled sector, whatever energy I have is immediately just destroyed. Forest of Ehrenberg coming up. And there's where the race really takes off, and I'm already long out the back from the front to the back, just like that. Alright, I'll see you at the end of the race, and we'll see what that final position is. That's all I care about here on this one, and we'll see who actually comes away with the win. Obviously, I am in no man's land already. But look, at least I'm more than halfway up from the front of the field to the back of the field. That head start helped a little bit. Alright, I have a single cobbled sector remaining, and then of course the velodrome. Wout van Aert has already won ahead of Casper Asgreen and Tish Benoot. Yeah, I missed the podium. Who'd have thunk that would have happened on a race like this? Anyway, all jokes aside, I'm actually first place on my team as we enter the velodrome, and I do believe that I am well outside of that top 100 as we enter the final lap here. So, yeah, shocking, right? I know. We're going to finish well outside of the top 100, and yet, nice finish there, number 136, and yet it's still best of the team. That's how bad we are. Delay, not that far behind me, just a couple minutes down from where I was at number 143. So I just won. I am victorious today. At least amongst my teammates. And in Formula One, that's often all you can ask. Beat your teammate. That's your comparison. You're only as good as your car. Often not the case. You can push it beyond the limits a little bit and outperform other teams, but not by much. Certainly not going to win a championship with a Williams or a Haas or an Alfa Romeo, or this year an AlphaTauri or a Mercedes, unless they get things sorted out before long. Back-to-back days in the breakaway. It's Amstel Gold, and I'm joined by a teammate this time, so I'm excited by that. Dombrowski is here. We have just 5 in the break, plus 1 rider that's been in no man's land for a long time, and I don't think he's ever going to catch up to us. In fact, it looks like he has finally stopped slowly gaining ground or staying neutral compared to where we were. It is now starting to drift further away from the front 5 and slowly, second by second, draw closer to the peloton. So I do think we are going to stay as a group of 5. And Campenarts is here. I'm obviously no favorite in any way on a lengthy race such as this. I mean, we still have 130k to go. It's a long one, and you know that stamina resistance part plays a role, and I'm not so great in that department. But I had expended a lot of energy to help establish this break. I did a lot of the pulling to get us away from the peloton, and that made me go pretty deep, but I have finally recovered that. Of course, the stamina side of things, the chase is on already in the peloton. We're down to 3.5 minutes, and you can see my team outside of Goosens and Garrison are struggling through the undulation at the moment, and meanwhile I am staying put, not putting in enough effort at the back, and so I went from expending too much and getting fatigued to now I'm able to actually conserve under these circumstances and still be in the group. I'm going to put in a slightly higher effort just to make sure that I'm not getting dropped, and we'll keep this at ×4 for the time being. 2:44 is the gap now, and I just hit 100% of my objective. So unlike last time where I did all that in Paris-Roubaix, well, it wasn't much, but I got 3 experience points for that. Today should be a little bit more, as in like 5 points, 6 points. Maybe we'll get 10 points. It's not much at this stage of things when you're pretty late on and you win races and you're still not getting much in terms of XP. The turn of the month is the best way to get that one. If you haven't heard me say this before, I strongly advise that your first level ups in Pro Cyclist mode go into the monthly experience gain. First 3 levels, because it is the primary way that you are going to gain. I'm the only one working now. Nobody wants to work, huh? They're all just sitting on making me do the job. Okay, I think that's because Dombrowski quit working, and so it was okay when it was 1 teammate not working. It wasn't okay as soon as it got to 2. So they all sat up and waited for me to take over, and now they're just trying to attack. So now they're just being mean. Okay, we are back together, but we're down to 35 seconds, and we're down to 42k, and I'm not looking so good for long term. I think this break is going to get caught here pretty soon, and it is caught. 134 left in the peloton, not that many riders out the back, and I've, of course, expended a lot of energy, so I don't have much left for the finish to come as we go up the Kreuzberg. Peloton splitting. I think I'll be lucky. I'll be very lucky to get a top 25 in a race such as this one. Under these circumstances, we did get our objective complete at least. Top 43 at the moment, hanging on. Now with 30k to go, we've got a big climb coming, and I think I really need to push forward before that climb and use my climbing legs to go up the Keutenberg here. 600 meters is all 15%. It's a hefty climb. But with my nice, strong climbing legs, I will keep myself from getting dropped and not expend a crazy amount of energy. But as this group starts to split, you can see just how quickly I go backwards with 85 effort. I still have the energy, yet I'm still going backwards. And the field has split, and I'm at the tail end of things. Very much the tail end of things. 41 riders left in contention. And we are just hanging on. and it's still 22k to go. So, yep, goodbye to me. Say goodbye. Wave. Bye-bye. See you later. See you later. Here we go. Next climb. This should do it, energy-wise. Yes. Dropped. Dropped. Like a sack of potatoes. I've been dropped. I definitely could have done more from the peloton than this. I would have been in contention for a top 10 that way, but I certainly wouldn't have been in contention for the win. There's just too many guys with 85 hill ratings.
It's a superb sprint.
Oh gosh, what am I doing? 2.5k to go. Hershey, Vanderpool, Alaphilippe, Bernal, Schachman, Pogacar, Pidcock, Red 7, Mataway, Hayter. That's your top 10. 42nd for myself. We got a top 50. I was hoping for a top 25 after the efforts up front, but there was just not enough left in the tank. Remember, long race, low stamina. Even with that +5, 75 is just nothing with the bonuses that everybody else has. Most of the field around us have close to a 90 or 80 plus in their stamina and or resistance ratings. And they didn't spend 150, 170 kilometers off the front of the field. And we've moved forward to Flèche Wallonne, and for the third time in a row, I've been given the assignment of getting into the breakaway. However, this time around, I was placed literally at the very, very back row of the peloton at the start of the stage, and 7 riders had broken away almost immediately within the first handful of kilometers, long before I even sniffed mid peloton. And so by the time I did get to the front, they were long gone, quite a few minutes up the road. So with that being said, today then became about finishing as hard as we can, as the breakaway became a non-starter. 54 left in the peloton is all we have already at this stage. Those 7 are still away, but their gap is now down to just over 1 minute. Today, it looks assured that we will get that top 50 finish. I'm already down to just 2 teammates around, as 4 of them have long since been dropped, and we are seeing this group continue to split. It's getting smaller and smaller. Maybe not. It's yo-yoing a bit anyway. And we're down to just a handful of climbs now. About 5 left to go. Just 33 left here at the front. And Foss and Dabrowski were both dropped. I have to start upping my effort to stay put, as things are yo-yoing yet again. And we're just starting to bring back the breakaway. First rider, somehow still right there. There you go. Now we've brought him back. 73, chasing 5. Gonna go 83 here up the Mur de Huy. Make that 84. Let's go right to the front, make things hard. Pierre Latour is doing the same, so I'm going to back off just a little bit and stay put. Let these guys actually do the work. Breakaway caught very quickly on that climb, and I have a feeling as we go through here, we're going to see splits. And we do. Just 15 riders left now in the group. Momentarily, the yo-yoing continues, where they try to decide who's left in contention of this thing. Ooh, now I'm considered to be in the breakaway. Not sure how that happened, but okay. 38 riders left in contention. And I'm looking good. Foss, not looking so good. Everybody else now gone. Dombrowski is gone. Garrison out of contention. 3 climbs left to go. 1 more little bit of undulation in between. Okay, here comes an acceleration. Let's now respond, though my response didn't come very quick.
The pace seems much too high for many riders.
Okay, we're okay. More undulation right here, just very brief. This will allow me to get back up to the front. And then we immediately sat up.
15 kilometers remaining.
All right, down to 2. And down to 24. Ooh, 10 that lost contact, regained contact, but does that mean they have no energy? Does that mean we're set for a top 25 now? Here we go. Here's another acceleration. Cosnefroid. Everybody trying again and again to separate this race out. 4 riders do escape momentarily, make that 6, but it is coming back together. Or is it? Am I going to be the one to have to pull this thing back? Now it's back together. 27 riders now left. They are attacking. I do not want to attack, but if I don't go effort up, it's just going to get out of hand here. So I try to stay near the front. 5.5K to go. Just one more climb up the Mer de Huy.
We're into the last 5 kilometers.
If that descent was any longer, I would use our acrobatic descent, but okay, get back forward, get back forward.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
This is an attack right now. These guys are attacking, but they are not getting off the front, and they're not attacking hard enough. 1.8K, difficult climb. Okay, now we gotta go. We gotta go. But not go full gas, not go full gas. The climb is too hard. You can see a lot of guys are just going backwards. Okay, now sprint it out, come on, into the top 10, into the top 10. Yes, we are finally in the top 10 here at Flèche Wallonne. Almost a top 5. Mark Hirschi takes the win. Thomas Pidcock, Cosnefroid, Madoue, Gaudu, 6th place, beating Ethan Hayter, Schachmann, and a whole list of contenders. That was well-timed, well-placed, well done. And 1 place out of a top 5. It is a top 10, though. That is a dream result. I think we have been no higher than about 17th, 18th here. Career mode either, as I haven't been as strong with the punchers there. So, yeah, that was solid. That was really solid. And that was 0 team support along the way, as we were that free element. I'm going to get a few XP for that. That last race, we got 16 XP. So that was 19 over the last couple races, and we'll get a bit for this one, especially for finishing 6th. Yeah, happy with that one. 53 points. Finishing 6th when they wanted us in the top 50. And then almost getting to the halfway mark on that breakaway requirement. Just 2.5K shy of that one. Or I guess that would be 3.5K shy on that one. That would have gotten us a few more XP, but I'll take 53. That's good. Third of the way to the next level. And we're into the final 100 kilometers of Liège-Bastogne-Liège. This time around, though, no breakaway assignment. This time they want me to finish well. So I have team leader outsider that is, but at least I have team support for a change as we begin the first of the difficult climbs of the day. And they come back to back to back. I mean, there's 5 difficult climbs in a row. None of them terribly long, but they do really add up. There's not much of a reprieve in between. And then the unfortunate part is it gets a little easier. You only have a few difficult climbs, and they're spread out a little bit more towards the finish, making this one a race that could go any number of directions and will rarely result in the individual breakaway, staying away sort of situation. We are seeing the field yo-yo quite a bit already. Dombrowski was in the break, but he's been dropped, but he's still in that area in between, about 1.5 minutes ahead as we come back up on him now. So that gap has come down quite quickly. And the last 2 riders that are away are now just about 40 seconds ahead of us. Foss is still looking tolerable. Dombrowski is still here after getting caught, but the peloton is down to 60 and I'm almost solo already. Fortunately, I'm still looking really strong at this point as we hit this harder climb of the day, and we're seeing a big acceleration. I have to uptick my effort a little bit. We will be slowing things back down into the final climbs here shortly. 60, 50 riders left. One more rider still up front, hanging on, just 30 seconds ahead, but good job by him. Who is that one rider who has done... It's not Van Aert. Van Aert's next to me.
He's back in the saddle.
It's Luke Rowe. Luke Rowe. Great ride from him as we head into that final set of climbs now. 4 to go. Technically, but really 3. Voss, what you doing? Back up here. Let's help him get his position. We got 55 left here in contention at the moment, as things have yo-yoed a little bit. Some guys getting back on after the descent there. And that's it. Breakaway is done. We immediately see Cosnefroid on the attack. And we see a response. This one too early, too far out. So for me, not wanting to add extra effort, I slide backwards a little bit in position, and they continue on over the flat bit here. But as we go into this descent, I'm sure I'll recover my position just fine, and we'll have expended a bit less energy than those around me. Just 42 left now as we head into the next climb. Oh, big crash there, and I just miss out. I almost get swept out from underneath. Cosnefroid and Genietz are the two that go down. And we have just 39 now left in contention as we go up the redoubt. And these guys are pushing pretty hard because I'm going 85 and not making up any ground at the moment.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
We're going to have to get into the punchy territory here and go 90 for a little bit to make sure we actually don't get dropped, surprisingly. And Voss is starting to go backwards. 2 riders have gone off the front. Voss has not been dropped yet. But he and 8 others are. 27 chasing 2. That's 29 remaining in contention. And you can see we have not lifted the tempo at all. It's continuing to press on hard. One more rider falls off the back. Okay, here's that partial climb as we go to come back on Pogacar and Schachmann. Hershey, Roglic, Soler. Are they chasing or are they attacking? Pidcock. Now it's chasing. 1 climb remains. And we have separation. It's 8 chasing 3. And you can definitely see we are coming back at those guys right now. Meanwhile, with the descent coming, I don't want to push too hard, but I don't want to be at the back end of this group. If we're going to be in contention, this next climb is going to decide it. At the moment, we're looking like a top 11, seems likely, but this could go any number of ways. And it is a top 11 back together. Ease off for a moment. 16k to go. Penultimate descent happening right now. 15k. 23 riders together. It has opened up a little bit again. And let's go 85 as we hit the climb. And speed it up again. Speed it up as they push.
It's in such percentages that the strongest can create some gaps.
This is full on. These guys are doing 97s, 98s. Now they sit up a little bit. And only 1 rider has been dropped, surprisingly. 2 riders dropped. Okay, now it's down to 18 as Schachmann tries to go clear. Down to 15.
And it's a swift acceleration by Maximilian Schachmann.
A rider has just fallen.
Setting up is not much of an option, but I don't have much left in the tank here. 15 riders still in this thing. Are we riding for second now? It looks like we might be. Schachmann. No, here goes Pidcock. I do not have enough energy to chase those front guys. We're now looking at trying to just get a top 15 and hang on and not get dropped here. 9 chasing 3. We are into the top 12. We only have to beat 1 rider to get a top 10.
Van Aert has fallen.
Ooh, Van Aert has fallen. I did not see it, but it has been claimed. Oh, if I had the energy, I would use the acrobatic descent, but we don't have it. There goes Hershey.
Attack
Nobody
by Mark Hirschi.
responds initially, meaning he's got a great chance of it actually succeeding. 3.4k. Okay, acrobatic descent. Now's the time. It's going to help me get forward. 1.7k, and we turn that into attack. Final kilometer. I'm not a sprinter. These guys are going to catch up to me, but what can I hang on to? Hershey's going to take the win.
And it's a solo
Hershey's going to
victory
take the
for
win.
Mark Hirschi.
Do I have any chance of beating Pidcock? It doesn't look like it, but it looks like a top 5. Shockman, Pidcock, 4th place. Roglic, yes, we got 4th place. Okay, good result. Good result. Not only top 10, but top 5. A quarter of a wheel from Pidcock to get a top 3. Very close. If Hershey wasn't out front, that sprint was 3rd best. Timed it well. We had just an ounce of energy left. That is 2nd race in a row where we have timed that very well and gotten an excellent result. That concludes the Classics season. So after an extremely strong start to the season, we just went through my weakest period of the season, the Classics. The cobbled ones, obviously, we were no match. The punchy ones, our rating should be a match, but there's just way too many strong punchers. And unlike real life, where you always get a mix, you're going to have probably half of your most competitive riders of a certain mold be involved in each race, or a little more than half. Here, it's practically 100% every single race. They're all there. Race after race after race, which you just don't get in real life. They diversify their portfolio a little bit. They'll participate in 6 out of 10 or 6 out of 9 or 6 out of 8 maybe, but not 10 out of 10, which is what we see here. So the field is ultra competitive, and you get years into these games and the database just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, and so the ratings get better and better. And for a non-puncher, we're just outmatched. So even with good race day condition, it's difficult to get that top 10. It's difficult to get that top 5. But we did good. We got a couple results along the way through that period, and it helped. We have slipped to 2nd place in the World Tour rankings behind Mark Hirschi, who won pretty much all of those races the last couple of weeks. But we are still 1st in the Super Prestige for the time being. Hirschi jumps up the rankings, but that was his strong period now coming to an end. We are entering my strong period. We are entering the Grand Tours. Next up, the Giro d'Italia, and we enter number 1 in the Super Prestige rankings. So good place to be. That's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.